Welcome to the DSEF. The Direct Selling Executives Forum was created to be a place where real direct selling executives and vendors in the space can come out and share solutions to challenges that face us all in the marketplace. Our guest today is going to be unpacking a topic and sharing their raw thoughts for you to learn from. All right, let's go meet our guest. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our next session of the Direct Selling Executives Forum panel podcast on the topics that you've been asking about here inside of the forum. Now, for those of you that are new to the DSEF, you can go to LinkedIn and search the Direct Selling Executives Forum to apply to join the invite-only group of executives that are discussing topics that are just incredibly relevant to direct selling companies today, of different issues and challenges and opportunities to capitalize on in the space. Or go to directsellingexecutiveforum.com to create your account and request an invite to the forum and the community. Now, today's topic is all about creating impact products. And in a moment, I'm going to welcome Mr. Andy Goodwin out here to unpack this idea of how we actually create impact products today. And today he's the co-owner and chief sales and marketing officer for Cerule International. A bit of a background on Andy. He has spent over 30 years, and he's super young, so he doesn't look like it, 30 years of experience building global brands and successful international business, 20 of these years in our dietary supplement direct selling industry. Now, he moves from all the way through international markets to sales and marketing to direct sales. Brands you know of besides Cerule would be his work at StemTech, Vision International, Nutrimetics, and Herbalife. Now, in his work at Cerule, he talks about creating a company for people to have extraordinary lives. And he has built the entire business on impact products. So when this topic came up in the forum, I said, okay, we're going to talk about Andy and his partner, Jono, and the work they've done there. And so, Andy, I want to thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for joining us here on the forum.
Ben, thanks for having us. It's a real pleasure. I watch the forum. I watch a lot of your podcasts, and you certainly have some very erudite guests giving us some great tips and challenges. So hopefully I can live up to some people that have gone before me.
Well, knowing how fanatical your tribe is the perfect reason for why we have you out here today. The folks at Cerule absolutely love you and your team and what you've created for them. And other people want that same kind of magic in their world. And so the first question from the forum today, Andy, is that you've built a business around utilizing key impact ingredients to create products your followers love. For other executives seeking to create an impact product, where would you invite them to start?
Yeah, I mean, it's in our space, product is key for a lot of people if you want longevity. I mean, right now we're in the middle of the next crypto deal or the next Ponzi deal that's come. It's here. There's no product. There's only money. There's not a lot of substance. And so with love to those industries, they don't really help us in terms of creating solidity and longevity in the industry. So for us, for me in particular, we needed a product that first and foremost provides a solution. If your product can't provide a solution to an end user customer, then it's a challenge. And then, of course, is your product unique? Are you yet another lipstick salesman or another juice does a different thing with an amazing story from an Amazon rainforest? If you've got a story or a product that's unique, it does a couple of things. First and foremost, it provides a solution to the end user customer. And so what that gives our distributors the confidence to talk to people. We know the stuff works. And when I say it provides a solution, you have to be able to demonstrate that as best you can. I notice that more and more people in our space bring a product with a potential solution, but no science to back it up. No clinical trials, no human double-blind crossover placebo study trials, which to an end user customer who is meeting their neighbor or their friend, this is important because we live in a world or an age now where I can double check everything anybody ever says to me. Dr. Google is a great place to validate what my neighbor Bill says about this amazing product, because it sounds too good to be true, because you know what our distributors are like. They're buoyant, they're enthusiastic, they're overexcited. This stuff is wonderful. And we want to be able to separate out fact, to be able to show with confidence to an end user customer that this product has been peer reviewed. It has published studies. The science confirms what we say in the street. about the efficacy of that product. So for me, the product has to provide a solution to a problem. And sometimes people don't even know what problem they've got. They've just got a problem. I don't know how I got it, or it's just old age, or what is it, but I don't operate the way I used to. I can't do the things I used to be able to do. And we live in a world where our medical professionals, if they can't fix our problem, they can give us drugs that will mask our problem. So we don't think we've got the problem, but the drugs are masking the effect of that. So impact products are all about creating a solution for the end user customer, having it validated where possible, have it unique. You know, what is it about your product that makes you unique in the marketplace? To give your distributors the confidence, you have to buy from Bill next door because you can't buy it anywhere else. But knowing whatever you say about your product will be researched, will be challenged by the end user customer. Oh, I'm not sure about this. I'm going to get my own data, and everywhere I look, if we're ranking well on Google, or the clinical trials are easily available, or the company's website provides all this information and is open and clear access for people to scrutinize you, I think is critical. And we pride ourselves on the fact that you can go to our website, you can, you know, the pay plan's there, the products are there, the product fact sheets are there, all the science is there. The layperson will probably not understand the science to read a clinical trial or to read the legalese around it. They potentially won't understand it, but they'll get reassurance that this company's upfront and honest. And more, we have to be transparent, and we have to be vulnerable to scrutiny by people from outside, especially around product, because that's where it starts with us.
Yeah. Unique
product, validated. And, you know, if I had my time over again, I'd like a product that worked faster. People can notice
they felt it faster, right? They felt it
faster.
Felt it faster.
It's no secret that to us, it's a secret that we've got customers on auto ship for the last 7 years. Never missed a beat. Never get off the product. They just love our product. Why? Because it works.
Sure.
You know, we did a study recently of our customers who buys it, and we've got hundreds of thousands of people that buy our product consistently, and a whole bunch of anecdotal testimony. I took your product and it really fixed me, and I felt great. So then I stopped. But then I realized 3 months later, I'm feeling not so good anymore. So I've gone back onto it, and I realized that it's a lifestyle enhancer. And for us, we know that if people get on our product and take enough of it for long enough, they stay, and that's critical.
You know, one thing that's so important to everyone who listens here today, as you guys are listening to what Andy's sharing, we talk about frameworks all the time in the Direct Selling Executive Forum. So a framework you can apply to your own business. He talked about solving a real problem and then being able to back up the why, like why does it solve the problem? That it's not hype, this is why it works. But there's something else Andy just shared that he didn't put a title on, but you heard it. His product's very consumable. Like, people take it and need to reorder it. So it's easy to consume. It's not like they're buying up our product and they're just taking it a little while and then, they got a bunch on the shelves. They don't need to reorder next month because they still got lots left over. That's an important element in a referral marketing company here, is you want to make sure that your company is delivery system. We'll talk about delivery systems later in the panel, but that it's set up in a way where it's easy to consume. So people are actually getting through a 30-day supply and are ready for the next 30-day supply. That some of you have that part missing in your framework and you're feeling it. You know, someone buys product in a starter pack and they don't even get through the starter pack product in time to be on subscription in 60 days. And then they got extra products. So why would I start a subscription if I already got product in my kitchen? And what you heard Andy just share, man, you know, we got people been on subscription for 7 months. Well, that's 7 years. That's a big deal, gang. And it tells you that designed in that impact product is that it's getting consumed every 30 days. They're not on subscription for 7 years because it's stacking up in their house. They're on subscription for 7 years because they're actually consuming the product at the end of the day. You know, and one of the other questions that we get asked a lot when we evaluate frameworks like this is that pitfalls question. And so I want to ask, what pitfalls have you seen others run into when working to create their impact product? What are the things we should be staying away from?
I don't know that I can speak with authority on others making mistakes. I can certainly speak to the mistakes that we've made, or not necessarily mistakes, but
Sure.
if we change the word pitfalls into potholes. So
Yeah.
we have fallen in potholes
Yeah.
in the path of life that we're rolling down,
Sure.
and especially around product, and especially, over the last few years, all of us in this industry have been impacted one way or another by COVID, and some would argue it has changed our industry somewhat. But I know from our perspective, when we are looking at product and what product do we bring next, one of the first things that because we're global, we're in 72 countries around the world, and we have a multitude of different languages to try and understand. It depends really where you are in the world and what your position is within the industry. But I would say that if you are at all international or planning to be international, you first of all got to understand the regulatory landscape. What could you sell here that you couldn't sell in Canada, for example? We have different regulatory bodies, different regulatory environments. Some markets you can say this, other markets you can't say that. And then, of course, where it comes to language challenges, so much is lost in translation. No, we told you it was the way to say it, but the way you've translated it means something completely different. Oh, sorry, we misunderstood. So regulatory challenges, and what has been very evident to us over the last few years are some of the supply chain challenges. Can you meet demand? Because your customers, your distributors will get pretty grumpy with you pretty quickly if you haven't forecast and built enough inventory to deal with demand. Now, how much are you going to meet? No one today. That's not an exact science. Okay, guys, we've got this new product. What do you think? How well is it going to go?
Sure.
And for some reason, it goes crazy. And you sell out. And you say, well, on one hand, it's great. We sold out. And we've personally been through this, a new product that we've released in the last year. Oh, well, that's great. Wow, that's great. That exceeded our expectation. We've sold out.
Sure.
Well, how long to get another one? How long to get more? And what's that time frame for supply chain? So, can you get the ingredients? Can you get the packaging? Can you get the production time? Can you get the shipping done? There's a whole multitude of things around supply chain that you really have to be on top of and forecasting. And then when you do bring the second batch to market and you still haven't got it right, and so now you're starting to see some collateral damage with your distributors. Yeah, come on, you guys, you've been around this industry a long time. Are you not thinking? Didn't we show you the first time? We sold out the first batch, and now you bought us some more, but we've sold out of that again, and now I've got customers screaming. Now, look, all of us want to be in that situation. It's a nice situation to be in where demand is exceeding supply, but the confidence damage, we work in a confidence game, especially with distributors. They're the one at the coalface. They're the one saying, look, I'm sorry, company hasn't got that. So they're apologetic, and we never want that for our guys. So potholes, are regulatory, translation, supply chain, all those things when it comes to product development are critical. And so, we've fallen into potholes. We've had a great product that's perfectly legal here in America, but cannot have this one or this two ingredients, for example, in Europe. So now we have to think, so now we've got to change a formula. So that adds a whole bunch of complexity. And then there's challenges within your distributor for, well, why is it like that over there? And why is it? And so you have to be front footing all of this. You have to be upfront, honest, and say, this is what we got and this is why. So look, I could talk for hours on this subject, but those are some of the potholes.
And what's so good about what Andy just shared, we have a previous episode. If you look through this season on Spotify or YouTube, gang, Chris Adams, who today runs Princess House, unpacked using AI technology in your direct selling business and specifically talked about inventory management, just in a previous episode, gang, and how you forecast the future, how you make sure you don't sell out of product and you're ordering at the right time for your lead times, and how companies using AI to manage that part of their business and make better decisions to optimize that part of their world of how much inventory to hold. And so definitely, if you want to dig deeper into some of those potholes that Andy talked about, go rewind through the series, go back to Chris Adams' episode, gang. And that's a great place just to think through some of the how-to frameworks technology-wise to work on your inventory systems. Also, it's a powerful reminder, Again, when you think about these pitfalls of what it takes to be on offense and live a life proactive as an executive team instead of just being reactive, it's always more expensive to be reactive team in this space. I mean, that's what we've seen with our clients in our world. I'm sure Andy would echo that. Like when you're living in the reactive world, it always costs more than when you take the time to plan. Planning is work, but you take the time to put in the extra planning it takes to be proactive. It's a critical part of this business. Andy, over the last few years, we've seen all kinds of unique delivery systems for products in the space. I think direct sales is the pilot program for each fun new delivery system for anything that comes in the space. You shared a story with me about an ingredient you loved that did not have the best taste. Walk us through your journey and what you did and what your team ended up deploying.
Yeah, look, I think it's fair for a lot of us that we sell capsules. And the reason we sell capsules is because what's inside the capsule doesn't taste great. But if you take it in a capsule, then there's no taste impact. It's an easy way to deliver a month's worth of supply with a product. But not everybody can take capsules. And a lot of people, I don't know, I take 28 capsules twice a day. But that's beside the point. Not everybody could do that. Not everybody wants to do that, or not everybody can do that. And so you're right. There's a lot of different delivery mechanisms. There's gummies, and there's powders, and there's shakes, and there's a multitude of things. We've gone down that route of different delivery mechanisms. So we have one particular product that we know is sensational. People love it. And so we wanted a new product. We wanted a collagen product. So now comes the dilemma. Do we become just a Me Too seller of collagen? Ben Dixon sells collagen, sure. Andy Goodwin sells collagen. We're all selling collagen. What have we got to go on? Well, where does Ben's come from? Where does the Andy's come from? Whose is the best? Who's got the clinical trials? Who's got, the price? And so we always want to have products predominantly that are unique to us for our distributor confidence. This is why I'm with Cerule. They bring proper products that have the science, that are published, they're upfront. And now they've bought us a collagen product, but it's not just a collagen. We took our encapsulated product, Cyactive, and we blended it with collagen. And so we made a collagen drink that's blue. Go figure. The Cyactive product we have is blue. So now we've got a collagen mixed with Cyactive. It's not just collagen, it's the collagen benefits and the Cyactive benefits, all in an easy-to-take, funky-looking blue drink that tastes great. Beautiful. I don't have to swallow capsules. And that's the one product that's just blown us away. But then I got thinking, what other delivery mechanisms could we use? Now, last year we had an event down here in California. One of our top distributors said, have you ever just thought about putting your product into chocolate? And I thought, this is madness, crazy. But then I met, we're a health company. It's not a health food. Chocolate surely is full of sugar. It's bad for you. It's not a health food. Just another beat crazy idea. But then I got thinking about it. I met someone with a chocolate factory, and I said, our products are predominantly blue and green. Could you put that product into chocolate so I could have it in white chocolate, and then I would have a blue chocolate and a green chocolate? That would be a good idea. So we tried it until we realized that actually white chocolate isn't chocolate. It's just candy.
It's just sugar.
That's not good. That's not good. We made some, we trialed it. It wasn't bad. But we sort of felt our way along a little bit. And then so we said, okay, how do we get this into dark chocolate? Dark chocolate has there's less sugar, more cocoa. It is, it has health benefits associated with dark chocolate. Cardio, it opens the vasculators. It does a lot of stuff that's good for you. So then we tried, so let's put 2 capsules of product into chocolate. And here it is. So we made these I don't know how well you can see this or not, but this is 10-gram bar of chocolate. It's got our logo embossed on the front of it. And we put 2 grams of chocolate in it. And it tasted disgusting. And we realized it was terrible. You couldn't eat it. Even though it was chocolate, it was horrible. So we had to, by trial and error, feel our way to a point where we got a product that tasted great, which we now have, by the way. We've been selling it down under in Australia and New Zealand, soon to be available here in North America. But this is a product that we made a lot of mistakes and trialed and failed. And then we took it to our top leaders around the world and said, look, we know this is a little crazy, but what do you think? We got their opinion before we went into full-on production. They absolutely loved it. They loved the health message around dark chocolate. They loved the fact that we've got a different delivery mechanism that is great for who? People that don't want to take chocolates, don't want to take capsules.
Yeah.
People that can't take capsules.
Yeah.
Children struggle to take capsules. But if you give a kid a piece of healthy chocolate that's got the raw ingredient that can make a difference to so many people, why not? So this has been a resounding success for us, to the point now where we've fallen into potholes, had some pitfalls, and made some mistakes, but just through constant trial and error, but more importantly with consultation with our top field guys, as to say, you know, at the end of the day, you guys are going to be the one that talk about this. What do you think? So we've had buy-ins from all the people. We've worked with the manufacturers. We've trialed. It's been baptism of fire, if you like, but we're finally there. And we're just finalizing some great-looking packaging, and then we're going to continue sales of that down under and bring it here to North America.
I love the story you just shared, Andy. I was, just as much as there's been a collagen explosion the last few years in direct sales, there was 7-8 years ago, there's that CBD explosion, that happened in our space for a long time. And one of the things that I saw, even amongst my own clients, when we think about delivery methods, is the clients I had who did the best in CBD, they weren't just doing tinctures or they were inside of the system, which was what was normal at the time. They had made powder form, and they had isolates, they had made gummies, they had allowed, every time they opened a new delivery system, it tapped into a whole new market. So many times when we're doing planning and we're talking about expanding companies and growing here on the DSEF, you can compare this framework on delivery methods, gang, to the same thoughts on payment methods in your company. So many of you, build your business primarily with credit cards as a payment method if you're here in the US. Then you go to Europe and you realize, man, less than 40% of people use a credit card. So how do you tap the other 60%? And you realize quickly, okay, well, if we integrate some of these local wallet solutions, wow, we have more customers and we're getting paid in more ways for our business. Take that same thinking of, as you expand internationally, you add payment types and you can access new customer groups through that. It's the same thing in these product frameworks, gang. And you can speak to that. Like there were people who would have never taken part of their product when it was mixing it up in the water bottle and it was the blue water, but now when it's in a piece of chocolate, okay, they can do it with the kid, or if it was just in capsule form. So those, if you have the ability to do those extra delivery systems and can get them reordered properly, you want to figure out that mix for your culture. Now, I've seen some companies go all in on a single delivery method. And the one challenge with going all in on a single delivery method, like maybe you're the zip stick people, and I love zip sticks, right? We have all kinds of clients who do really, really well with zip sticks, right? And here's a stick, powder, rip it, pour it in your drink. Got it. But there's got to be a subset of customers who don't like zip sticks, right? Who want a different delivery method for their lifestyle. And so open your mind to hearing those opportunities. It may not be chocolate for you, but there's something there. And I hear all kinds of new opportunities. I know from manufacturers that work with many of our clients, there's nano encapsulation stuff available today. There's capsules. There's ones that just dissolve, instant dissolve capsules versus ones that you have to swallow. Like we see all kinds of interesting stuff here in the space. And so I invite you to take a look at the framework today that Andy shared with you. Ask yourself, are we making an impact? Are we solving that problem? Is it something that can be easily backed up by science? And when people go to Dr. Google, are they getting an answer? Yeah, I should give it a try. And are they consuming it on a monthly basis? Huge pieces we can each be thinking about that will help us optimize our product strategy. Andy, I want to thank you so much for being out here today on the panel. It was a ton of fun to have you. Thank you for taking some time away from your planning meetings this week with your staff to pop out onto our panel. I know you guys had a really busy week and yet you joined me anyway. So thank you so much for being here. It's always a pleasure to get a chance to catch up with you.
Ben, thanks for all you do. Thanks for continuing to spread the good message and help all of us in this space learn from each other and grow together to create and maintain a sustainable business for all of us. We really appreciate you and all that you do. Thank you, sir.
You got it. And gang, if this is the first time you're listening to a DSEF podcast, thank you so much, Andy. I invite you again to, whether you're watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, I'll invite you, wherever you're listening from, to head to LinkedIn. That's where the community is most active. Go there to Direct Selling Executives Forum. If you haven't yet joined, join there. You'll get access to all of the materials and notes from today, plus recordings and the previous sessions here in the season. There's been a whole group of incredible speakers, and we have some really fun ones coming up. So if you haven't yet subscribed to your favorite listening channel, do subscribe so you get those notifications. Have an amazing day, everyone. We'll talk with you soon. Bye for now. If you haven't yet joined the DSEF group on LinkedIn, go to directsellingexecutiveforum.com or go on LinkedIn and search for Direct Selling Executive Forum to apply. The group is free and is an invite-only community of direct selling executives by direct selling executives.